with that. Next kit is the Bandai 1/12 scale K2-SO from Rogue One. I really like this character. I am going to light it. It's got some lights in his eyes, and then there's some on a panel on his back. I think I'm going to try to put some sound with this also, because some of the dialogue he had in Rogue One was just really funny. So let's get it. 2 sprues in this kit, the majority of which has been molded in black, but like Bandai does, they mold in color on the same sprue. So you've got a lighter gray here, and then you've got a darker gray here, and then of course the clear pieces for parts will be lit. It does come with some decals to go in various spots around him. So what I need to do now is remove the parts from the trees and clean them, and I'll be back. These are the neck pieces. This piece here slots into here. Oop, the other way around. Like this. Nope. It was right the first time. Slots in like that, and then the keyed part slides in like that. It does hold once the body's put on there, but what I needed to do, because I need wires to go to the head, is I took this little micro drill bit and I started on this end and slowly drilled in as far as I could go, and I mean going very slow, making sure that I'm keeping it as straight as possible. Then I did the same thing on this side. Unfortunately, the piece was short enough to where it would meet in the middle. Then I also drilled a hole into here so my wires will go through. So once this is together, then my wires can go through here and up through here, so I can get to the neck and be able to light the head. I didn't film putting the SMDs on the back of that clear piece for the eyes because it's really small and I needed to get in there really close to see what I was doing. But this is a 1206 SMD. I've got a coin battery on it, which is what I plan on using for the whole kit. So those went in. As you can see, I took some tulip. This is it, tulip. And with a toothpick I coated the entire back of the SMDs and the piece so there was no glow. This part of the head's been glued. What I have here is, you can see I drilled out a hole in the plastic, and then the wires run through the little rubber poly joint so that it can move and it won't bind the wires, and then it feeds through the neck piece so it will slide in like so, and then the head will slide on. Now I haven't glued anything because there's some details in here that I need to paint on his face. But essentially that's how it works, and then the wires come out through the bottom. You might have noticed that the plastic is not shiny. At this point I'm planning on just using the color of the plastic and then I'll seal it with a dull coat or a satin, depending on what might work best. What I did is I took a sand stick here, which I think is about, it's either 320 or 400, and sanded all the black, and then I went over it again with some 600 to smooth it all out, and then I took a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol and then cleaned everything off. And that's what I've done for all the black pieces on the kit. I've drilled all my holes. As you can see, the wires coming through the torso. I still need to drill all of the holes to go through the legs, because I'm going to feed all the way down and come out the foot so I can go to the underneath of the base. So I have two 1206 SMDs in each one of the eyes here. So let me hook this up. I've got the two wires going to one 470 ohm resistor. And this is probably a little bit brighter than what's in the movie, but given the size and the scale, I think it's pretty close, and I'm kind of happy with it, so I'm all good with that. And his I did it so that his head still move. You can still position everything, so once his feet will be mounted to the base, so he won't move that way, and his legs will be stable, but you'll still be able to move the arms and the head. Whoops. So now what I need to do is I need to take this panel out here, and I need to build a light box underneath here to be able to get an SMD in there and work on drilling the holes and everything to get the lights ready for the back panel. This is the back part of the torso, and here's the little inset that goes in here. This is where the lights are on the back. So what it does is it fits in here. And what I've done is there are two, let's see if I can get this, there we go. There are two little red lights right here, which I've drilled with this 0.25 micro drill, so I can get a 0.25 fiber optic in there. And then these two big bars right here are lit up. So I need to figure out how I'm going to light those up. It looks like they're all individual lights all the way down that bar, so I'm going to have to think about that to see how I can get that across and look like it does on the robot from the movie. Now on the inside of this back panel, there's a lot of bracing in here, and in this area is where that back panel is, so I'm going to have to remove this bracing and all these pegs right here so that I have easy access to be able to get lights and or fiber optics, because most of my light's probably going to be in here, and then there'll be some light in the head, but I need enough space to be able to have wires and stuff, and also be able to figure out how to thread it all down through a leg and through a base. So I'm going to trim some of this out, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And you can see I've removed that brace and those pegs out of there. Looking at it some more, I may need to remove more of this in here too. I'll leave some of the edges so that there's a platform to this to stop once I push it all the way in and glue it, but it's looking like I'm going to need to remove some more of that in there. So I'll do that and I'll be back. Alright, cut out a piece there. Like I said, I left some ridges here to be able to hold the piece. Oops. So now I can slide it in the way it's supposed to go, and then it's open in the back there, so I can get my light or whatever I need to do in there to make it work. So now I need to move on to another part. I built a box here so it will fit in like so, and I also have plenty of clearance to be able to close up the main torso. And of course the back panel will fit in once I got the light in there, and it should work perfect. Okay, got the light box in there. Nothing's glued because I still got to do some light blocking on the opposite side. But I have a 3528 SMD in there, and it's mounted facing down because I don't want direct light coming this way. It'll be too bright. So light going that way will give me the light that I need. Let me there. And there's not a resistor on here yet either. So now I just put in the back panel. I only have two holes drilled so far. Those big holes are for the antenna, but that should work very well. Here's the back of my light box here for the back panel on the back of K2, and here's the wire coming through, and you can see I've got it threaded through here to be able to go down through the waist and then through the legs to the base. All I used was some Panzer Aces dark rubber. Any dark paint will do. I think I have 3, maybe 4 coats on there, and I just brushed it on because you're not going to see it. But that will light block what I need so it doesn't bleed out through the rest of the kit. Quick light test. Again, these are 1206 SMDs that are in for the eyes. They are connected to one 470 ohm resistor, so that gives me the brightness that I'm looking for in the eyes. On the back, it's a 3528 SMD with no resistor. I do have a couple of fiber optics in here cut short and slightly mushroomed on the top. They don't need to connect to the light because the light bounces around within the light box. So what I need to do also is I still need to do the lights here on these back panels, and I will do that. This is going to do it for part 1. Part 2, I'm going to focus on threading the wire through the leg to go up, to the head and the torso and all that, and also obviously through the waist, and start thinking about how I'm going to secure these to a base. I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you for part 2.